Hello and welcome back to another game of Risk 2, the computerized version of the classic tabletop board game. You're once again joined by your host TK421, and today we'll be trying something a little different. Rather than just playing the classic mode, which is what we're all used to if you've played the board game. Classic is what you've done. We're going to have a go at this tournament mode, which is a challenging sequence of classic and the same time games where you will face increasing challenges against different AI players. So for those who's never played this game, tournament sort of gives you predetermined layouts, options and opponents and whatnot. A mix between this classic Risk, which we all know, and this same time Risk, which as far as I am aware, this game is the only place where this exists. We'll cross that hurdle when we get to it, but basically all the players sort of make their moves at the same time, as opposed to one at a time. It's a different way to play. Interesting, whether you like it or not, we'll just have to wait and see, and like I said, cross that bridge when we get to it. So next, so here we go, there's 16 rounds in a tournament. Now obviously the further down the list you go, the harder the game gets. I'm pretty sure the first few at least are all classic. So for now it'll be what we're used to. For each round you score points. Obviously winning the game will give you the most points, but there's also points for having the most troops at the end, and also for wiping out any players. Obviously to advance you need to win the game. I think in the first few rounds, if you wipe out a player, that is enough to get you through to the next round. But from memory, I think that sort of stops as we get further down. So without, obviously, there's high scores. Wellington reached round 12 with 2,400 points. So obviously we're going to try and want to beat that record, and with any luck finish the tournament, I suppose. But we'll see how we go. Of course, it's sort of like a sudden death thing. If you lose, you don't start again where you left off. Since you're back to round 1, you have to start the tournament again. And you can't just quit a game halfway through if it's not going too well. The game has this nifty little feature where it sort of auto saves where you're up until your round. So say you've had 4 rounds into it, the next time you come in it will be at the start of your turn on the 4th round. The stakes are pretty high, you can't stuff up, there's no restarting or anything, it's just all in. So without further ado, we'll jump into round 1. We'll be black again, like always. So level 1, our mission is to conquer 60% of the world. So we have to do that, or like I said, kill at least one opponent. If you were killed during any level, your tournament ends. So we can see here our territories are randomly dealt. There's none of the extra territories, so New Zealand, Hawaii, Philippines, etc. will not be on the board. So it is the classic Risk board. Everything else is default. So obviously we're going for 60% domination. As far as I'm aware, that's 25 territories. Here's how the scoring works. For winning the game, 150 points. Killing an opponent gives you 20. I'm not sure if it's 20 per opponent or just 20 overall for killing an opponent. And obviously most troops at the end of the game gets you 30. That's pretty loud. Let's just turn that down again. Probably effects allowed too. So we'll continue. So as you can see, it's started everything. They've given us what territories are enforced, whatnot. Like always, just personal preference. I'm going to set it to ownership. I think it's pretty obvious what our first move should be. Obviously, we'll take this over Australia, and the surrounding territories get the bonus. And I think concentrate then on North America. Then again, we might not. With any luck, we'll win this. And indeed we do. I think for now we'll end it there. Obviously we'll move this guy out of New Guinea. He's not doing much good there. We'll see what happens here. Green's leaving North America, which is a good for us. And why wouldn't they? They've got 7 in Japan. They won't be able... Blue also is pretty strong though, so they have to watch themselves. No surprises there. We really have no interest in holding on to Asia. We don't have the reinforcements to defend ourselves. What we want really is for Blue to concentrate on Africa as opposed to the North America, I should say, I suppose. And indeed it looks like he is making a move for Africa. Even South America by the looks of it, maybe. Although Yellow might have similar plans. Yellow is also relatively strong in Europe, but of course we also have 5 in Great Britain, so we should be right for now. We get 5. I think we break this big one. Now what I'm going to do is retreat. I suppose this is pretty gamey tactic, although you can do the same thing on a board, so it's not really anything. But rather than split our troops up, obviously we're going to want to attack sort of in a line. I think we'll just get rid of Yellow. Maybe. Yes, we will. And I think for now we'll end it there. Don't want to overextend too much. Obviously end our turn there. Bit of border, just to explore, we've got this border threat. Interesting that that doesn't really show a threat. Oh, it's only tints your border territories according to how threatened they are by opposing forces. Interesting that it considers that somewhat threatened. Troop strength. Connected Empire. That's an interesting view too, but obviously ownership and or continents is the best for actually playing. It's probably just the EU4 in me, but I like each person having their sort of own countries, so to speak. I was going to make another push for Africa. We'll speed this up a bit. takes Egypt. Interesting. We get 6. We'll put another one in Great Britain, another one in Indonesia. I think what we're going to have to do is push into South America. We don't keep one behind for our next turn, but we don't really want blue getting the bonus. One, two. We can go to info. We own 15 territories, which is enough to get an extra troop. Assuming no one attacks us. That's probably unlikely, but we'll take the risk. I'm sure this comes to no surprise. Obviously Blue's gonna wanna take back their region, but we prove too powerful for them. But they'll get us somewhere else instead. I think in this first round we're not really going to be able to wipe out a player. Yellow's not looking great. In fact, we have 14, we need 11 more. This 6 will be the problem. No troops. We're just not strong enough to take. Blue's also not great. Obviously we'll go for the region and probably not get it. I was probably too cautious with my placements. We'll risk it for the biscuit. I doubt we'll hold it. Green will probably come across. But I think we'll end our turn for one more. Interesting. Need to get a good roll back here. That was better. One more of them would be nice. But of course we get the exact opposite. We have to be a bit lucky here. And indeed we are. Thank goodness that defenders win ties. Depending, we could be in trouble here. In fact, it's in our best interests to lose this battle. Let's hope. Oh, very lucky there. Obviously we won't be wiping blue out, but if we do get the cards, yellow might be a target. Then again, maybe not. We want him to go into Scandinavia as opposed to Greenland. Perhaps by us losing Ukraine it might be enough motivation to sort of go for, and indeed they will not. Another lucky roll. One more. Can you believe that? 5 ones. Unbelievable. Considering what we were up against, I'll call that pretty successful. Obviously we lose the region bonus. But depending, we do get 10 troops. And with that in mind, I feel we should make a push to wipe out yellow. We'll give it a go. Great start. We'll see how we go. We may run out of steam, although we've got 15. Obviously we want to avoid that 5 in North Africa. Take Egypt. Now here's when we run into a bit of a problem. Obviously the first thing we want to do is make sure we can get both Greenland and Iceland, because if not, we'll obviously hold it there. Let's see how we go. And we do take it. Obviously green is next. Do we have enough? I don't think we do. I think we end it there. We're gonna have to. 10. We may be in trouble here. We'll see what happens. We may have gotten greedy. We probably should have just gone for the victory. But we will see. We once again hold Indonesia, but blue is green's having some rotten luck with their dice rolls. The good news is that means everyone's traded in cards and no one has enough to trade in this turn, which of course means green's just made our job very easy for us, assuming very easy. Depending what blue does here. And we will win this engagement, which is very nice to see, although I feel Brazil, we won't be so lucky. Then again, we might be. We could be in trouble here. No. I wonder what their motivation for that is. Very interesting. Gets their 5. Obviously, we know what we're doing on our next turn. We get 12. Actually, we don't need 12 to wipe out there. If we look at info, we have 17, which means we need 8 more territories. 7, 6. I feel just reinforce Egypt and just make a push. Obviously, green has a lot of undefended territory up here, so we will wipe out yellow, which guarantees us a spot in the next tournament round, although I feel we're going to reach 60% domination anyway. Are you able to trade in cards? You are not, only if you take 5. That is of no consequence. If we look at info, we have the most troops. We have 25 more territories. Let's go this way. I think by now there's nothing they can do to stop us. We've won this game, and we should get points. We still don't know if that 20 points is per person or overall, but I'm sure we'll get an opportunity in a later tournament to find out. For now, I think we have a very strong opening game. Lots of points, assuming we do reach the 25. Move them all in. 24, we're going to need 1 more. Let's see how we go. It looks like we will succeed. And as you can see here, our mission button is flashing. We claim victory. So we get 150 points for winning the game. It says points for killing a bard, which makes me think that for each play you wipe out you get 20 points, which is good to know. And we also had the most troops, so that's 200 points, which is nothing to sneeze at. It's no surprise that we hold the most territories both at once, obviously because that's the victory condition, and also the average territories. We were in a relatively strong position all game. We had both the largest army and the largest average army, the most kills. We did not have the most casualties, which as a general is nice to see. Obviously the most reinforcements, the most continents. Interestingly enough, we did not have the largest connected empire, which is something I am personally a fan of, I suppose for lack of a better word, but of course we didn't pick our opening territories, so there's not much you can do about it. Free air starting in Asia did help that, and of course we made the most attacks. So if we click continue here, we on 200 and tournament round 2, but that will be for another video, so please join me next time where we will look at that. And until next time, I am TK421. See you next time.